Alright, welcome back to Rayman Marathon 2017. Here with Alekzoz doing No Teensies for the GameCube Rayman 3. Are you ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Cool. So you might have seen a few Rayman 3 runs in this marathon already. There is gonna be like this might be the fifth one, if I'm correct. But this category differs with the other ones by we're not collecting any Teensies. But this category, it's fairly similar to the 80% in the GameCube version. We just skip two of the Teensies that we would get in 80%. So time-wise and route-wise, it's pretty similar. So in the first level there's really nothing to do, it's pretty much a normal auto-scroller, except we have collected 6 first not Teensies, lumps there to continue, otherwise you would go in the loop. I was supposed to be commentated by Richard in this run, but unfortunately he's not here right now. So that's unfortunate. But I can do it myself, so you know, all should be good.
Qui c'è tutto. Se leggiamo scopriremo come cavarcela. Allora c'era una volta il lume, l'armonia, l'amore, la pace.
As most have been seeing Rayman 3 already in this marathon, but I'm just gonna say it one more time that this game is really broken, and you will see it in a few minutes actually. The first trick that I'm gonna perform is just a normal super jump. Basically we exploit the first person look mode right at the edge of a platform, and that gives us pretty insane height. And the game is in Italian, not Spanish, by the way.
Ma non esaltarti troppo, perché la modalità combo scompare se non segni altri punti. Ultima cosa, i punti fanno accedere a dei livelli nascosti, quindi cerca di fare il punteggio migliore. Beh, il manuale non è straordinario, ma cercando bene si dovrebbero trovare 2 o 3 corsetti. Ecco! Qui dice che per saltare bisogna utilizzare il pulsante di salto. Ma davvero? Chi l'avrebbe detto? E qua dice che per attaccare bisogna premere il pulsante di attacco!
So there you go. You might have seen maybe in the first person mode, right at the edge of the ledge. And that gave me pretty high jump there, so I could have skipped the first part there. Usually there would be a cutscene here, but as said, because I play on Italian, I can just walk through the cutscene by going a bit faster than it would normally be. And there I did a very interesting roll camera buffer super jump to skip the other cutscene that would have been played in this level.
Non c'è un secondo da perdere! Dobbiamo riacciuffare Andrea prima che raggiunga il cuore del mondo!
And thanks for the good luck.
Ehi, guarda! Un interruttore!
Peeps in the chat.
Attiva un meccanismo!
On this level, we're gonna skip quite the majority of the level as well by performing an extended super jump, so we can just fly through to the end here. Normally we would be introduced to Andre, the main villain of this game, but we're not gonna see that unfortunately.
Presto! Andrea si avvicina al cuore del mondo!
So as I said before, this run we will spend a lot of time out of bounds and, you know, glitching stuff out. Usually this run is like 2 hours long, and the any percent in this game, or this any percent, it's around a minute. I mean, hour and 8 minutes. That's the current world record. And I'll be soon done with Fairy Console, actually. There's only the next level and the Teensy Highway. Yeah, this category, it's pretty much any percent besides the 2 Teensy pages that we would get in any percent. You're actually gonna see we're skipping the first one in the first one. And it'll be kind of a boring level, because we have to skip it. There's gonna be like a 2-3 minute flight to the end of the level.
Razza di idioti, lo sospettavo! Andrei non è morto! Non si può tenere Globox vicino al cuore, è rischioso. Rayman, Globox è tuo amico. Portalo dal guaritore della foresta di Chiara Foglia! Lo conosco, saprà come eliminare Andrei.
Yeah, this game has gone a long way. At first, of course, there weren't that many glitches found, but as years went by, we found more and more ways to break this game, and now it's just completely broken. The game is in Italian, and the reason for that is that there's a cutscene in the early game that lasts about 10 seconds, and with the Italian language we can skip that very easily. So it's basically a free 10-second time save. Otherwise the language doesn't really matter. So in these Teensy Highways, I should be pretty careful. It's very easy to fall off if you're not paying attention, so I'll not read chat in these parts at all, usually at least. And we will be done with Fairy Console right in like a few seconds. And there you go. So, not Fairy Console, clearly first one. In any percent, it's really different than on No Teensies. Since there's a cage we would have to use to progress in the level. But on No Teensies we can't get that, and I'm just gonna skip it and go out of bounds and fly to the next area of this level, and it's gonna be really far away.
Musica, dove sei?
Chiudi e fammi uscire di qui! Ho sete!
Rayman, bisogna che vada a farmi curare.
Non è che ti vai dal
Whoops. There you go. So now we just go out of bounds, and you will see the second part of the level real soon. And this is gonna be pretty boring to watch, but you know, that's what we have to do with this category. So, you know, you can just grab a drink or go to the bathroom, since there's literally nothing happening for like 2-3 minutes here. We're just basically flying to the second part of this level. The second Teens cage that we're gonna skip, it's on Bug of Merc 1, where usually we would use a PCM to skip the boss fight, but now we can't use it because we would have to break a cage for that. So we're gonna see the Begoniac's boss fight for the second time in this marathon. The first time was with the Wizboy's glitchless run. So we're gonna reach the second part real soon. It's like maybe 30 seconds more of flying. Then we're gonna fight a few Hoodlums and we will continue with the run. And I think we got hosted. There's like almost 1,000 viewers, so that's really cool. Yeah. And so there you go, that's pretty much the level. Now we're gonna continue with the normal routes, as we would in any percent. I'd say clearly Forest it's a really cool world in a speedrun. But it can be a kind of a running killer at times, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal right now. It's kind of a shame that we're skipping so many parts of this game in this speedrun, but you know, that's what has to be made. And here you see I'm gonna use a extended camera buffer to super jump to get to the end of the level. Which is surprisingly close to the start of the level, so that's really convenient for us. So as I mentioned before, in this run we pretty much use the first-person look mode, end up using that in the glitches, pretty much in almost every one of them, except the rolls, of course. And here I'm just gonna use a glide walk and to click the, through the door, and skip the rocket part there. We will be heading to the first boss fight of this game pretty soon, called Master Cog, and as said before, we pretty much skip it. It's fairly easy. The ending of the level will be as well at the start of the level, so it's pretty easy to skip it. You will see that in a second. Normally the fight would last for like 3-4 minutes, but now the level lasts about 30 seconds, so that's like a 3-minute time save right there. And there we go. That was very good. So here we're just going out of bounds and going to the... There will be the fight, and there you can see Master Cog, but we can just skip it like this. There's not much into this level, besides from killing the Hoodlums and going to the end of the level. Here there would be these Teensy Doctor cutscenes, but we can skip them. In casual playthroughs they're really fun to watch, so I'd recommend that sometimes if you have the game and, you know. Here's the second Teensy Highway. It's pretty similar to the first one, at least lengthwise. Of course the platforms are gonna be in different spots and orders. I don't think I mentioned before, there's a way to actually speed up these auto-scrollers slightly. It's by holding the jump button all the way through during these Teensy Highways. Since whenever you hold it down and at the end of the platform you save like a frame, so we try to be on as many platforms as we can to save as much time as we can. In total it saves around 20 seconds in all of the 3 Teensy Highways combined. In some of these parts, if you fall down, you kind of get teleported more further than you should be, so there might be some minor time saves here, but we haven't really looked that much into it, since it would take so long to go through all of these and try to find where those spots are. And we're reaching at the end of the second Teensy Highway real soon, and we will be heading to Bog of Merc, where you will see for the second time where the No Teensies category will be different from any percent. As I mentioned before, here we would be using PCM, aka Playable Quick Camera Mode, to use the power-up infinitely to skip the boss fight. But because that requires getting a Teensy cage, we can't use that. So instead we will just be defeating good old... what is she called even? I can't remember. Jesus. There isn't really that much to this boss fight. You can get this in one cycle, but that's pretty difficult, so I'm gonna try to get it at least in 2 cycles. And I think I messed that up. I'm not sure if I can get a 2 cycle anymore. Begonia's that's the one. I'm just really messing up right now. Oh, I can still get it in a 2 cycle actually. That's really really fortunate. There you go. So yeah, that was the Begoniacs fight. We only use it in glitchless and no Teensies. In other categories we just skip it. And in this level we can use a camera buffered super jump at the end of the level. It's not a very long level anyways, but you know, it saves around like 20 seconds I think. Otherwise we would have to kill these Hoodlums and get the power up. You know, we don't need to do that, we can just, you know, skip it easily. Like so. Oh, by the way, just to mention, I might make these glitches look pretty easy, but most of them require quite precise timing and angles, so they're not as easy as they might look like. Who knows? And here I'm gonna use a CPMFJ to skip the whole level, like so. Otherwise we would have to use kind of a casual strats. But you know, this was found like a year ago I think, and it's pretty useful. Here we are gonna go out of bounds again, and kind of swim to the next platform. It skips a whole lot of things to do. And we will be heading to Alekzoz's mansion real soon. Which is the third boss fight, and I'll talk about that a bit later. There you go. So casually we would have to fight the boss fight, at least the first part. It takes around like 3 minutes. But on this version we can just clip through a wall pretty easily and get straight to the end, and it takes like 20 seconds I think. There you go, cool. That was pretty good. Although we have to fight the second part of this boss fight. It's kind of RNG based, but it's not too bad, I guess. No soft lock, yeah. On my all Teensies run, I soft locked in the previous level, and that wasted around like a minute and a half. But still, it was like a 3-minute PB for me, so that's good. And this should be pretty good RNG, I think. So, if he spawns too close to the red can, he will have invisibility frames, meaning we can't hit him with the red can. But fortunately, that didn't happen here. So yeah, that was a really good fight overall, when I'm done. So. There you go, cool. Now we will be heading to Land of the Living Dead. It's pretty cool, visually and soundtrack. It's pretty cool. In the first level we are gonna use a camera buffered emitter super jump. And just skip pretty much the majority of the level. And it looks really cool. Like, these glitches in this game, they are really cool, I think, visually. If I could do this one. Oh, I have to do that first. There you go. Then we're just gonna use a extended super jump into a glide walk, and we can skip the wooden door. Like so. And that was pretty much the level. Very cool. Here we are gonna use a first-person dive for the first time in this speedrun. You're gonna save it real quick. Basically, we're gonna go out of bounds and swim to the end of the level. Oh, that's unfortunate. That sometimes happens, but we have a backup here. And there you go. Thank you, Frozen. And that skip saves around like 2 minutes, I would say. And here we're just gonna use the Biggie Pang to get to that ledge. I don't think the game developers really thought of that. That's a simple way of skipping the second part. And here we are gonna try to get Case Skip, and if I get it, I'll mention it a bit more. Very good. Okay, so what I did there, I walked in the cutscene and used a pretty specific pattern to get the Hoodlum to notice me. And when he notices me before hitting the switch, it just leaves the gate open, and that's really cool, I think. Here we are gonna use a ground clip to skip the fourth boss fight in this game. So we're just gonna be swimming around, going around the boss fight. So I'll be soon done with A Land of the Living Dead. There is only the Doctor's Office and the Teensies Highway. Then we will be going to Dot K.
Rayman è sempre lui il più forte, e anche il mio migliore amico. E anche il mio migliore amico!
So as you can probably notice, the game is pretty fast-paced, and we are pretty much flying through the levels or end worlds. So the speedrun, it's fairly short, I think. And there I just used a normal jump to clip through that wall thingy. And here I'm just killing these hoodlums here by my normal fists. It's a bit faster.
No! Oh no, questa volta non ci vado, ho paura dei dottori.
And here's the last and final Teensies Highway. It's a bit longer than the previous two ones, but not by too much. And I think it's a bit more costly if you fall down here than on the previous two ones, but that shouldn't happen if I just be careful. at least you will get to enjoy this very funky themed music during these ones. So if you've been enjoying these Rayman 3 runs and other runs as well in the marathon, I would recommend following the people who have run the games and the staff around the whole marathon, because they've done a lot of work to make this possible. So, you know, to show some gratitude. And I should be fine for now that I didn't fall down. At least in the end of this Teensy Highway, if you fall down, you might lose like up to 40 seconds. It's really costly in a speedrun. And then we're just gonna use a sort of a super jump in the end to save like a few seconds. And now we are at the Dot K, the very spooky world in this speedrun, and casually as well. In this first level, we're just gonna go out of bounds and fly straight to the end of the level. It's pretty cool actually, that we can barely make it into the end of the level. We just have to get a pretty precise angle here, and that should be fine. Now there's gonna be like around a minute of flying, but it saves around like 3 minutes, I think, compared to casually. You know, that's cool. And it's kind of a relaxation point during the speedrun. You don't have to worry about it too much. And I should be fine now. There you go, very good. So that was that level, and the next level we are just gonna use a camera buffered super jump extended, and skipping the whole level pretty easily. And it's pretty funny looking actually, so you'll see that in a minute. And here you go, we just go out of bounds and get straight to the end of the level, just like that. It's pretty insane.
Ehi, non c'è qualcuno che ha dello sciroppo per la tosse?
Does anyone know what run will be after mine? Is it the Ramon run? I think so.
Ragazzi, vi divertite molto a prendervela con uno tutto solo?
Oh, by the way, here I'm gonna use an extended camera buffered super jump. It's fairly precise, so I'm trying not to fuck up here. I just gotta get a good angle, and that should work. And there you go. That's barely high enough, but it worked out.
Che idea!
Then we just jump there, skip a dance animation. It saves like a second or two, nothing too important, but you know, small things matter.
Soccorso! Ehi, ti va di venire al gong party di sabato? Mi piacerebbe molto, ma mi stupirei se mio papà mi lasciasse uscire di cattivo.
On this level we are gonna use another extended camera buffer super jump. To fly to the end of the level, it's nothing too bad. It's pretty doable. But I think that's fairly low, so I'm gonna have to use the backups here. It's not that much slower anyways, so you know, it doesn't matter that much. And that should work. Hopefully, of course. There you go. That was really close, actually. And here we will enjoy a lucky cutscene. I think sometimes it's triggered by flying too low to the trigger. I'm not too sure, actually. And there's Reflux, by the way. A very difficult boss fight. Except it's easier to kill than the normal Canarians, since they are pretty much unbeatable, but this boss fight, of course, isn't. Yeah, that backup, it's sort of new, I guess. Not really, you know, it's really useful.
Silenzio! Ho detto silenzio!
Here we get to enjoy the lovely dubbed Italian language of this game. It sounds fantastic.
E nessun Claren l'ha mai sconfitta! Credi tu che un aborto smembrato possa sfidarlo? Detto ciò, sono certo che il tuo amico brillerà nell'arena quando Reflux gli darà fuoco. E incominci la lotta!
Now here, we used to do this boss fight by getting the red cans, but later we noticed that it's a lot faster to just use your normal fists to kill him, and so that I'm gonna do right now. If you get enough damage in here, you can basically skip a cycle, and hopefully I got it. Yeah, I did. This boss fight used to take like 3 to 4 minutes. Now, optimally, it takes like a minute and 20 seconds, so it has come a long way. And also we can walk in the cutscenes. That is pretty cool. So I'll be done with this boss fight in like 5 seconds or so. Then we will go into the most annoying room of this entire game. There you go, that was a pretty good boss fight.
Rivallo testa di rape ti infilzo col tuo stecchino!
So here we would gain a power-up, but we're gonna do a skip. That saves around 15 seconds, and hopefully I will get it fairly fast. It's really annoying, it just doesn't want to work at times, like at all. Oh, there you go, second try. That's really good, cool. I'm very pleased about that. Very good. In HD, you can either use a damage boost or a stupid roll there to skip it. That's not really worth to do, I think. Yeah, the run is so far really sick actually. Like, I'm surprised. Hopefully no more fuck-ups in the late game, and it should be a really good time. Here we're just gonna use a camera buffer shift jump to skip this door. Then we're gonna trigger a glide walk, skip this part. Whoops. Could I please? There you go. That was a bit of a mistake, that's alright. You have to be pretty careful here not to go out of bounds, since usually you might clip through the wall pretty easily. You know, it's gotta be pretty careful there. And on the next level, we're just gonna use a specific pattern to kill the Hoodlums. Then we're gonna go to the longest shortcut. And there you go. Very good. Something to mention about the longest shortcut. Casually, they are pretty long levels, but in a speedrun, especially on GameCube, they are really short levels. Maybe one of the shortest in this speedrun. Basically, it's because of the ending of the level. It's right at the beginning of the level, and we are just gonna go out of bounds real quick and fly straight to the end.
Potranno invocare i Leptis e acquisire poteri inimmaginabili.
Questa porta dà su una scorciatoia che vi permetterà di riprenderli. Affrettatevi!
Sono carini quei guaritori.
Like so. Usually we would have to do a lot of platforming, but in this speedrun we can just fly straight to the end, and that's the level. The second TLS level, it's pretty similar, but the third one, it's a bit different, so there we will use a glide walk instead of a camera buffered super jump. I think a TLS takes around 3 minutes in a speedrun, and that's really short for a world.
La scorciatoia fa una nuova deviazione? Ho la sensazione che tocchi di nuovo a me.
So here we are just gonna trigger the glide walk and clip through the ceiling, like so. And then we will meet the Teensies once again and go to this summit.
Arrivate tardi, Reflux e Andrei sono già imbarcati.
Beh, se riescono a invocare i Leptis, riducono il mondo in fumo. No.
Hoto, prendete la barca
Yeah,
e acciuffate lì.
I'm pretty experienced runner of this game, and I might make the glitches look pretty easy, but they are fairly difficult, and a lot of runners have been experiencing the difficulty of them. But you know, I'm pretty good at the game, so you know, they mostly are fine with me. Here we are gonna pray for good RNG. We'll see. I'll explain this level a bit later. Oh, that's not good RNG. Well, that's fine. So basically, this level is RNG based, and if one of the boats go to the back of the level, that's bad RNG, and it's good RNG if we don't need to go to the back of the level at all. So we have some strats to speed up this fight. It's basically to use these middle cannons as much as possible, then front one at some times, but we're gonna leave back one pretty much alone when we don't have to. And this level, it's a pain in the ass in a speedrun. It's an auto-scroller, it's RNG based, and it's really boring, like there's nothing to it. So it's a boring run killer level. It's a speedrunner's nightmare, to be honest. So as I mentioned before, I'm just gonna use these middle cannons as much as possible, and that saves quite a lot of time, I think. Not sure. I should be pretty much done with this level soon. Just a few more of these enemies I have to kill. And that should be fine. So I think my no Teensies PB is like 116. And that's a really old PB, by the way. I mostly run 80%. Trying to get 107 in that category. So I should be on a really good pace for a PB here. So now to the more exciting part of this world. Or exciting, but it's a fairly relaxing level in a speedrun, but it looks really cool, and the music is good, so that's good. 1:16:25, okay. There I'm just gonna use a camera buffered meter super jump to skip that boss or enemy there. Saves like maybe 4 seconds. Then we are gonna use another one here. Right, so, and these tricks looks really cool. Like, it just looks really funny actually. It just flunks up into the air, doing nothing, and yeah. Oh, whoops, that's a mistake. There you go. And there you go. We just use a glide walk to skip that wooden door there. And we are gonna be done with this level soon. Just a few more glitches. Cool. Then we just use a glide walk at the staircase here to skip the last part. Oh, whoops. I was waiting for the bomb to go off there. There you go. Okay, that was a bit slow, but that's fine. Now the snowboarding level. I'm pretty sure everyone remembers this level if they have played so far into the game. It's basically another auto-scroller kind of a thing. There isn't much to make this any faster. you know, we'll just enjoy the music.
Devi arrivare giù, prima di me. Rayman, puoi mettere il riscaldamento?
There's actually a way to go out of bounds in this level and fly to the end, I think. Maybe not. But that wouldn't be any faster at all, so there's not really a way to skip this part.
Rayman, puoi mettere il riscaldamento?
And then the next world will be Hoodlum headquarters, one of the more difficult worlds in this speedrun. And it's quite the speedrun killer, at least in my opinion. Hopefully it'll go fine.
Rayman, puoi mettere il riscaldamento?
So now done with Summit, and here in Hoodlum headquarters we're gonna use a kind of a difficult extended camera buffered super jump here, so maybe that, hopefully that goes fine. And I think that's really good, cool. That should be a pretty fine time save in a speedrun. Basically we're just gonna go to the end of the level, and I'm not gonna fall out of bounds here. The hitbox of the floor actually extends quite far, so that we're gonna be fine. Then we're gonna use a camera buffered super jump to skip the door there. And that was really good actually, I'm fairly surprised. Then we are gonna use a camera buffered super jump there, and getting that first try, that's insane. That is kind of a inconsistent trick, and getting it first try is really good. So I couldn't be happier, to be honest. Now on this level we are gonna use another strafeless camera buffered super jump. It's quite difficult, but hopefully we will get it fine. There's a backup for it if we don't get the fastest one. And I don't think I got it, but here where it's gonna go to the conveyor belt and use a glide walk to skip this pretty long part there, and I kind of messed it up, so I'm gonna have to use a backup of a backup, so that's unfortunate. If I could do it. I think I need to grab a ledge there, so... There you go. Pretty unfortunate, but you know, no can do. Still pretty okay Hoodlum headquarters so far. Now we will get to see, well, CNC, the RNG machine. But we're gonna skip it like usually. You will see it in a second. There's nothing much to talk about it.
A coloro che pensano ancora che Rayman sia più evoluto di me, pongo questa semplice domanda. Avete contato quante volte ha perso Rayman dall'inizio della partita? In ogni caso, certo più di me, visto che io non ho mai subito sconfitte. Conclusione?
Here we will just use a camera buffer super jump to skip like that, and that's fairly easy. So I didn't expect to mess it up anyways. Then do one of the more harder levels in the game, and hopefully I can get the skips here just fine. So I'm not gonna explain anything right now. Well, I didn't unfortunately get it, but you know, that loses around 30 seconds. I gotten it in every run of my in this marathon, so that's unfortunate. Now I will just use this level casually. But glitch looks really cool, so too bad I didn't get to make it. There is another skip in the end of the level, so hopefully I can get that at least. It should save around 10 seconds. So right here we are gonna use a extended camera buffer super jump like so, and skip the second part of that level. So that was really good, besides from the first part. And now to the last world of the speedrun, Tower of the Leptos. It's a pretty difficult world as well, so hopefully this will go fine at least. Here I'm gonna use a camera buffer super jump, what is extended, and we are gonna fly to the end of the level, and I think that's good. Yeah, that should be fine. That's very good. Cool. Then I will need some silence in the next level, since there's an audio cue I need to use, and if I miss the trick it loses around a minute. There you go, I got it. That's very good. I'm pretty happy about that. So now we just get the power up there by using a roll, and then we go out of bounds and fly to the end of the level. Like so. Cool, that was pretty good. So there isn't much more to talk about this level. We're just gonna fly to the end, and that's pretty much it. The card skip hype, yeah. Hopefully that'll go fine. Shouldn't be too difficult, but you never know. Now we're just gonna go inside of this tower and use the balloons, since that's a bit faster than just hovering up. Actually, in one of my better speedruns way back in the days, I was done with all of the game, and then I punched right there and hit the last Teensie cage, and it was gonna be a PB pace, but it was gonna be invalid because I hit the cage and I couldn't even continue the run anymore after that. That was unfortunate back in the days.
Globox, come va? Globox, rispondimi! Oh!
Hai avuto paura, Oh, i miei occhiali!
Now the boring part of this world. Basically, we just kill a bunch of enemies here, and then we perform the COD skip, Call of Duty skip. It's named because there's a lot of shooting in this part. And the glitch looks really cool, I think. You will see that in like a minute or so, hopefully. So basically we go into this room upcoming, and there's a floor that's kind of finicky, and we can abuse the floor by pulling up at a certain time and angle, and that makes us go out of bounds.
Forse ci manca solo una finestra. Il mio Andrea. Dicono che sta invocando il possente Tetris. Dimmi che non è vero.
If I could get it right now. Please. There you go. 4th try. That's pretty okay. I hope people are enjoying the speedrun so far. I've tried my best to talk and explain stuff, but with this game it's not the easiest thing to do alone, but you know. And upcoming, it's the final boss fight of this game. Reflux and Andre. Usually the boss fight takes around like 8 to 9 minutes. So we should be on a pace for like 1:13, I think. And that's like 3 minutes better than my PB, if everything goes fine. Or 1:12 pace, even, who knows.
Sì, Andrea.
Con l'energia del tuo scettro potrò riprodurmi all'infinito.
Sì, Andrea.
Oh,
Andrea,
wasn't paying attention.
Non sai dire Avevo promesso di servirti Rayman su un vassoio. Divertiti.
So here we could get a 1-cycle kill, but I'm hoping to get at least 2-cycle. Basically we take this red can and kind of go inside of his hitbox when we can, and that way we can get a lot of punches in. And I got the 1-cycle, that's really cool. Sweet. That saves around 10 seconds, I think. Very good. What's my opinion on this game? I really love it. I really like the speedrun and how broken it is. Otherwise, I think casually it's a great game too. Good story and all. Just 10 out of 10 out of 10. Now I just need not to get killed here. And I was gonna die there if I was gonna go up there. So, you know, a bit risky, but we're fine. Then we can take some damage boosts here to go a bit faster. Then it's better on GP, it's the other way. But it's not too bad, I guess. Then optimally we would want a 2-cycle here. If we get a 3-cycle, it loses around a minute, so I'm gonna try my best to get a 3-cycle here. And that's really good, so that should be on a pace for a 2 cycle. And the RNG has been pretty okay as well.
Attende il tuo centro! Rayman, non devi neanche toccarlo!
And there you go. That was a pretty good 2 cycle. Then to the third phase of this boss fight. It's a bit more relaxing. We just fly up and shoot a rocket to this scepter, and it's more relaxing in a speedrun, so that's good. We just try to get these power-ups as quickly as possible, and you know, try to get a pretty optimized movement to save the maximum amount of time we can here. And I didn't get any hits from here, so that's good as well. And so far it's been pretty good run, I would say. So the last phase takes around 5 to 4 minutes, then I should be done with the run. It should be like 1:12. So that's 4 minutes ahead of my PB. That's really good. Like, I'm very satisfied with this run.
Rayman, sono io! Salta su, andiamo sul Tetris! Andrea non può essere che lassù.
Now there's just more button mashing here, and trying to get the optimal kills.
Buongiorno signore, dica, ha visto un po'? È un torneo un po' turbolento, si diventa a distruggere il mondo. Il signore non sembra pure io ecco perché non riuscivamo a trovare Andrea. Havoc l'ha catturato. Per aver catturato Andrea.
Yo, do you even know what time you're at right now?
It should be like 1:12. Yeah.
Guess again.
Wait, what? I don't know.
108, man.
I mean, like, the ending time it should be like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the time you're at right now. Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, wow. Yeah, I'm getting quite a lot of innocent runs with this run, and this run is like 3 to 4 minutes slower than any percent, so you know, that's cool.
think this would have been the 107 if this was any percent?
Nah, it would have been like 108, 109, I think.
Hmm.
And that's pretty sick anyways.
Yeah.
Like, I had some mistakes in this run, so it wouldn't have been a 107.
Are you sure though? Amazing.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm getting wrecked right here, right now, so that's not good. But I should be fine for 3 cycle. Yeah, I'm fine with 3 cycle. Cool. And that's gonna be like 112. Cool. So time is gonna be in like a minute, so just be ready. And time is coming up real soon. Is it gonna be a 111 actually? If so,
I think so.
Oh damn. Good. And
Yeah,
time
it
is.
is.
Time is
Definitely.
coming up right now.
111.52, dude.
Holy shit, that's cool. That's really good.
That's really good, man.
That's like
Damn.
almost a 5-minute PB. Good.
Slash world record.
Yeah. Slash world record. Yeah, I hope the peeps enjoyed the run. I tried my best to explain and to run. So you know, next up is what actually?
Actually, Ramon the Game.
Oh,
Atheism mode by Pixel.
sick. You gotta check that out. By the creator of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go off now, so I'll see you later.
Alright, gonna go into a quick intermission and then we're gonna enjoy Pixel run Ramon the Game. So stay tuned, guys.
Yeah.
E poi non saprei come fare.